So a while back I said I would dissect a Jehovah's Witness meeting and point out all the propaganda they spew out. Unfortunately, Jehovah's Witness meetings are terribly boring at best, and it's hard to find good quality video of them. So I'm going to do the next best thing, JW Broadcasting. For those of you who don't know, this is basically a TV show they've created in the past year or two, where the governing body members or their helpers get in front of a camera and do an hour-long sermon. I'm going to be dissecting a few minutes of it. Alright, let's get into it. No. The answer is no. It was not designed. Alright, let's hear the arguments.
The trunk of the African elephant is an impressive multi-tool. It is both flexible and strong. It can pick up a blade of grass or uproot a tree. Some elephants can use their trunks to feed themselves around 270 kilograms of vegetation every day.
Take a look at that. Isn't that fascinating? It has two nostrils just like other mammals, even though it's evolved to be so drastically different than other mammals over the years.
With their trunks, they can suck water like a straw. Spray like a fountain, and swim with a snorkel. The trunk can give a gentle touch, give a strong push, or sound a warning trumpet. Engineers admire the elephant trunk's remarkable flexibility. This comes from having no bone. Instead, it contains about 150,000 muscle units, an incredible marriage of strength and structure.
Okay, I get it. So they're saying that it couldn't have possibly arisen naturally. But just like the giraffe's neck, there was something in its ancestral past that gave elephants with longer trunks an advantage. So we have a number of elephants, and a genetic mutation occurs where the nose of one of the elephant's ancestors was just a little bit longer than the rest. Since it had an advantage over the others, it had more children while the others were dying off. After a while, there was another genetic mutation that made it just a little bit longer. The same thing happens, over and over again over millennia. Eventually, we end up with what we know today as the modern elephant. You can see the same process taking place right now with poachers. Poachers are killing elephants with large tusks to harvest the ivory. Over time, elephants have evolved smaller and smaller tusks. That's how evolution works. We can see it happening right in front of us. Denying it at this point is embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Inspired by the elephant's trunk, researchers are designing robots for the future with greater flexibility. Industrial design often can be made better by copying the perfectly beautiful solutions in the natural world.
Okay, so they're saying that God came up with the best solution. Nobody could do it better, and now humans are copying him. While the best solutions are commonly found through biomimicry, that doesn't have any bearing on whether or not a god was the designer.
What do you think? Did the elephant's trunk evolve?
Or what? Is he really going to hold me in suspense? Yes, the elephant's trunk evolved. We have hard evidence for it. We know for a fact that it evolved. This isn't in question anywhere but in the manufactured world in which they keep their members.
This new video series can help you see the proof that there is a creator It can especially help you young ones to recognize and reject the false teaching of evolution.
Notice he said recognize and reject, but not understand. That's how they work. They don't want you to understand it. They want you to identify it as an argument for evolution and reject it outright. And he said young ones, so we know exactly who he's talking to.
Use these new videos in your personal study and share them with classmates and teachers. They'll help you give an effective witness and bring honor to Jehovah.
See, that's messed up. You're supposed to view public school as your personal territory, so these kids are walking around polluting their classmates' brains with this nonsense. They're doing what's called poisoning the well. It's a logical fallacy, and it's where you try to discredit something for somebody before they know the real, full argument. For example, telling classmates that evolution is impossible, there's no way it could work, and that there's even debate on the subject in the scientific community. None of that is true, but next time they hear about evolution, they're going to be suspicious of it, thus destroying the potential of another young mind.
Young ones need strong faith in this difficult system of things.
Is that because it's nearly impossible to deny that evolution is an established fact without closing your eyes and ears and just relying on faith?
But they are not alone. They have Jehovah's Holy Spirit, a congregation of brothers and sisters, and very often, loving Christian parents.
Well, I wouldn't count on Jehovah's Holy Spirit doing much for them. The congregation, on the other hand, they will definitely make sure the kid isn't thinking for himself. If they catch that happening, they'll set up a judicial committee and, depending on the severity of the free thought, might disfellowship him, thus disconnecting him from his friends and family for the rest of his life. So that one's a pretty good way to keep him in line, actually. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, and I have a Teespring campaign. Links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys.